I'm Shea.
And I'm Shealyn.
And it's the Shea Scare Lounge. Are you confused? You look like you're confused.
I just thought I should powder myself.
Always
okay,
late.
I'm ready.
Fun.
I'm greasy. Okay.
The greasy.
Yeah, that's why I like him so much. Okay, if you can't tell what we're doing this week, maybe a hints. Oh, you can see the bed. I hate these backgrounds. Anyway, this I did not make this pizza, but I will be replicating it tonight. So I think it's a pretty amazing
on Instagram and on our website and stuff. It'll be fun.
Yes. In theory, I do it, and then I'll be very excited. But yes.
Yeah. I feel like
doing it
for every movie, and then we could do like a montage of it.
Yes. And if I had the time, yes, but I'll try. I'll be better just for you, Shea. So we're doing obviously Friday the 13th because today, as this is being released, is the only Friday the 13th this year. So don't waste it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. And don't, you have to say all the rules, like don't.
So that's the day you don't have sex, you don't do drugs, you don't drink,
don't
say I'll be right back.
Yes. I mean, I don't think you're ever supposed to say I'll be right back, but they definitely do in the movie and then they die.
So I watched Friday the 13th the other day for our episode. So I was fresh in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some things that I was surprised about that I did not remember correctly.
Like?
They're camp counselors, but they were there setting it up 2 weeks beforehand, and then they all die. But I didn't realize that. I thought that there were, because in my head I was like, wow, like there's all these kids everywhere and stuff going on. But
that's always the premise. In the second one, kids aren't there either.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I did not, because I know that Jason drowned because he wasn't being watched.
Oh yeah, but that's because she's flashing back to way back then.
Right.
Yeah.
So then in my head, for whatever reason, I was like, the kids are there at the camp, and
you were thinking of Sleepaway Camp, which is an incredible film. Yeah,
going to get them all confused. Is what I mean. I do feel like I did get a lot of the Friday 13th confused very easily.
Yeah, they get a little
because
weird.
They blend, and really it's the kind of movie that you just have to suspend all reality and not ask questions.
I mean, I feel like that's most horror movies, or it should be.
Yes.
I want to watch a movie to like escape. I don't want to watch a horror movie and like be worried I'm going to get raped walking to my car from work. Like I already see that on the news. I'd rather it be some crazy man stalking me with a giant, I guess it's a machete. I was going to say knife, but it's more so
a machete. Yeah, he's a machete. Yeah. Michael Myers is a knife.
Got it. Kitchen knife that he gets from like the
big
ham.
like blade, like a big kitchen knife. It's a big one.
First people. That's what I used to use when I reenacted Scream that I mentioned. Because that's all we had.
The one that you got in trouble for using a real knife, you're going to kill someone.
I know. Okay, one. Actually, no, this is the second one. The girl, second.
Great segue.
She's going to skinny dip by herself. Coming from somebody who loves to be naked, me, and skinny dip is incredible. But like, I've never wanted to do it by myself. I'm not like, no one's around. And then go into the lake. Like that's what she ends up doing, and it just seems so odd to me. Well,
there's a lot of things about this movie that are very odd.
Well, that's the second one. So we can talk about the first one.
Well, the first one, like the whole first 15 minutes of the movie of the girl going to Camp. I need to find out where Camp Crystal Lake is. It's 5,000 miles that way. Okay, why is she on foot? Why is she not? What? I have so many questions. What is the point of her talking to the dog? Is that supposed to symbolize something?
I think she was saying like, I know, because actually when I was rewatching with my niece last night, she said the same thing. She's like, why did she ask the dog? And I'm like, I think it's supposed to show that she's like kind and likes animals and kind of immature.
Right. I get that part. Like, but she also talks about it in the car on talking about the kids and how she just thinks that kids are great. So what is the point of having the dog scene? Like,
it's just, I think the dog might have just been there, and that could have been improv, and
it could have been, but it's like it's not even like it has nothing to do with anything. It's just
maybe
we needed to add on to the film, throw this in there.
In the director's cut, maybe that made sense. Like, have you ever watched the cut? No, But have you ever watched a movie and like there's just little snippets like that make no sense, but if you saw the extended cut, there,
well, yeah, because they probably took something
yeah,
else out later or something.
the dog
I
is
get
dead
that.
later, you know, like the dog could have
That's
been
fucked up, by the way.
But in the
That'd
second
be-
one, they kill a dog. They kill Muffin in the second one. But
Why?
anyway,
That's so mean.
Because
Dude.
that's what movies do to make you really hate the killer.
Was the
like,
dog like doing something? Was it having sex? Was it smoking pot? Was it doing something?
In the second one, it's named Muffin. That's reason enough.
Is that it? Is that
Muff.
the only reason? Dog's name is Muffin.
Sounds like a
needs to die.
No, I mean, literally.
So that one bothered me. And then she goes into like the bar or whatever, and it's like, hey, I'm going to Camp Crystal Lake or whatever.
I think it's a diner, but yeah, there's like a bar there.
It's like a bar, like a sports bar. It's like a bar where you get food when you're really drunk. It's what that's
it's the only place in town that's like a what do they call it? A one-horse town.
Visit. I don't want to visit in a one-horse town that has a bar.
I love
restaurant.
those.
Angry
those are my favorite. People. So I'm gonna look at my notes because for once
you made
they're
notes.
Terrible notes. No, but they're terrible. But I just was like, oh, this is one of those movies, as I mentioned before, that I've seen so many times, but I never sit down and watch. If that makes sense. It's always playing because at home I have Stars and these movies are free. Well, here I don't.
So you feel like more obligated to sit and watch it.
I had to rent.
I paid $2.99 for this. Like, I must sit and watch it now.
One of them was $3.99. I was like, what? Then I couldn't even find Jason Takes Manhattan, which I wanted to watch.
Oh, a little fun fact on Jason Takes Manhattan, because I have my fun fact sheet here that's playing like Hollow Man right now, but it's fine.
Is that a Kevin Bacon reference?
It is.
Yeah.
And he's in the first one. So
I know.
There you go. Good job.
That's what I'm here for.
Most of the movie of Jason Takes Manhattan is on a boat.
Mm-hmm.
So if you watch it, it's mostly like him on a boat.
Yeah.
But that's because it's so expensive to shoot in New York that they were like, well, let's do a little bit of New York. And and then majority of it will be like on the way to New York. So that's I thought was hilarious.
Well, that's why I love that movie so much, because they have that great scene in Times Square, you know, he's going through that. So that was really expensive to film, I imagine. And then when he's on the subway, it was back when the subway still looked like shit. I mean, now it looks like shit for different reasons and it stinks still, but like it didn't look like that, like with all the grips, you know, like Warrior.
You're really selling New York, by the way. Just saying.
Well, I don't want anyone else to move there because there's already too many people and the rent is up. So stay away. It's terrible. But
good to know. I won't come up there then. Jesus.
Well, no, I think that was when Times Square was scary. Let's see. These are my shitty notes.
Fantastic.
Well, the rules, you know, they go over, they basically break all of them, which is why people have to die. Like there's no option after that.
Even the one girl who didn't break the rules,
she lives.
She did, but like barely. Let's be real.
Well, you still have to. She was gonna break. No, I don't even think she followed the rules because she was like, it seemed like she was banging that old dude around the camp. With the
I think she was at like it insinuates it at the very beginning.
Like she's drawing him, and it doesn't show you the drawing. Like, was he nude?
Well, yeah, it does. It's just his face, and he goes, "Do I look like that
nude
last night?" And she goes, or he goes, "Do I really
ruined
look
it
like
for
that?"
me. See, this is what I'm talking about. I've never watched the movie. But I was hoping he was like laying there like Jeff Goldblum.
And it's
like,
just like
naked.
his face.
That's weak. Do you see he did that on his Hollywood Star too? When he got it, he did that exact
I love him so much.
Yes,
he's the best.
I like him.
If you can laugh at yourself and totally
course,
then you get more points. The fact that you can just crack jokes about yourself.
Well, you know, that's what I do, Shea.
Why am I in love with you? Hello. It's just clearly
maybe I'm the next Jeff Goldblum.
Sure. You need to take a picture.
These are my
shitty notes.
My notes are really bad. I'm basically the incredible cinematic masterpiece that was Scream taught me who the killer was in the first one, because that's why Drew Barrymore's boyfriend in the beginning of Scream has to die, because she's like, Jason, and he's like, no, the killer was Mr. Voorhees, and like I didn't even know what that was because I saw Scream before I saw this.
So Scream ruined it for you?
Well, no, I was like who's Mrs. Voorhees? And then it made me go watch Friday the 13th. So I think that movie again was brilliant for that, because you wanted to get the references, anyway. Yeah, that's pretty, my notes are really sad. Oh, you can't see them. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, there.
Okay, good. It's like hologram. Go ahead.
Yeah, the skinny dipping babe. I already talked about her. And that's it. Jason Takes Manhattan with hearts.
Did you know that originally it was supposed to be called Camp Blood, which they make 5,000 reference to in the movie? Like, I really was just like, they probably, before I looked this up, I was like, how much you want to bet this was called Camp Blood before they said Friday the 13th? Like Camp Blood. They say it 10,000 times. Oh, you mean Camp Blood? Oh, Camp Blood. Fucking Ralph. He's weird. I don't even know.
He dies in the second one.
Yeah, I know. Everyone from the first one dies in the second one. The girl dies too.
Yeah, in the intro. And that I thought was a good little way to show the previously on kind of movie thing. The recap is they did like her nightmare. So I thought that was a good way, instead of just like, kind of
jumping in. This is where you just have to suspend all of your reality, because it's like 20 years later and he's still 10. I don't understand. But then he's an adult killing people when his mom dies because his mom was
he started maturing after he got out of the water.
Is that what happened?
No, I'm just making it up.
Adult? I don't even understand. Like, so he jumps out of the water and he kills her when she wakes up in the hospital. But apparently he did drag her into the water, and the cops are standing at the edge and they watched the whole thing and was like, yeah, we didn't find a boy.
Yeah.
You're just dumbass fell out of the boat.
Well, her arm was hanging over. She was asking for it, That's another.
I also don't understand what the point was for her to, like, you beheaded the lady, fucking leave. Get in the truck and leave. Like, why are you now going, I must go on the lake?
I think, well, no, something happens with the car and she can't go away.
I have so many questions.
Well, I don't think they had access to the car. That guy gets home, and then what happens? Isn't it the keys are gone?
No, the Mrs. Voorhees is the one who pulls up.
Yeah.
She had the car. She had the Jeep.
She killed that guy. Yeah.
And she killed the guy, and he recognized her. He was like, oh, hey, what are you doing here or whatever? And then she killed him and put his body in the car, which I don't understand how much, like, what weightlifting class this woman is in, because
this old lady who then gets taken out like by a push, like, I was watching the whole fight scene. Very interesting.
The fight scene was hilarious. I'm like, why are we just slapping each other?
If she just would have, like, if you knock the old broad down, keep like stomping her face or so, like, kill her.
Right.
Kill this old lady in the sweater. Like, what? Why is this an issue?
I don't know. Maybe she was afraid to kill her. Like, she didn't want to injure her, but she killed everyone else. Her friends are dead.
She didn't want to injure the murderous old lady. Like, come on.
Well, here's the thing: is why didn't you find a better hiding spot and just stay there till dawn? Like, just find don't go back into the cabin.
Well, she's
and then make noise.
I don't know.
Could you not hold your breath? Do you not know anything?
But yes, what else you got on your notes there?
I got, now this goes for the whole series. Apparently Jason gets taller. I don't think they use the same person for each one. I know there's one of them and he still goes around and does like all the horror cons and stuff. But yeah, you're right. It couldn't have been the same one. He turns into like almost a giant. He does. He gets bigger and bigger. I think in like Jason Goes to Hell or Jason X or some crazy.
Yeah, Jason X, he's big.
And he's like this massive dude. And I'm just like, at least Freddy Krueger was consistent. Like, that's all I gotta say.
You just have Michael a crush on Robert Englund.
I do. Whatever.
Too bad he didn't write us back. Whatever.
Right? So lame.
He must be busy like being famous. But rude.
He's a busy guy.
Yeah. Yes, I don't know. I've watched all these over the years. I'm partial, like I said, to Jason Takes Manhattan, but I always end up watching the first one, and Jason's technically not even really in it, or he's not the killer at least. So
right, he's not in it at the beginning. So there's that. His name was originally going to be Joshua.
Oh,
so that's
interesting.
That's a horrible serial killer name, by the way. Jason sounds like Josh Voorhees. but the actual director's son's name was Josh, so he didn't want his son to be associated with a maniac, so they changed it to Jason.
Interesting.
I know, I've got a lot of weird things here.
I like
the hockey mask didn't come in until part 3, so I guess he wears like a sack over his head in part 2.
Why did I think that was Halloween instead?
No, okay, so part 1, it's the mom, Mrs. Voorhees killed everyone with her.
They don't really show him in the second one, in
the second one, he's wearing like a sack on his head.
Oh.
And then part 3, he wears a hockey mask, and then it's a hockey mask.
I'm trying to picture now. I guess I was watching it, but maybe they just don't show him until the end, maybe sequence.
Maybe, because I know there's pictures of it where he's like got his big sack and a rope around his neck to hold it down.
I was distracted by the naked girl and the hot guy in the wheelchair. Those always get me. It's like, how do you kill someone in a wheelchair? That's so rude.
How do you kill a dog? Okay,
we're still on the dog.
I'm still bothered by the dog.
But anyway,
the director from part 3 had just come from making a hockey documentary, so he had a beat up hockey mask, and then he had Jason wear it. So,
that's cool.
Just
I like that throw. Can you name them like from your notes? Do you have like the chronological order? Because I don't even know,
but I can post them up there.
I'm just so curious, like, because as I was trying to rent them all last night, like it's 1992. It's like I was going through 1, 2, 3 is the 3D, correct?
Okay, it's not Jaws.
I think no, there's not
a 3D one.
I think so.
Crackhead.
I really think it is. Look it up. Jason 3D. Look it up. I can't wait till I'm right. I bet you $5.
Oh my God, you're just always so fucking right. Okay, chronological order. We have Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th part 2. We don't have a special name for that. Friday the 13th part 3. Again, we're very generic, no special name. Part 4 is the final chapter. Part 5 is a new beginning. Part 6 is Jason Lives. Part 7 is the new blood. I was way off.
Oh, okay.
Part 8 is Jason Takes Manhattan. You weren't right about anything. Shut up.
I'm always right, even when I'm wrong.
I love that you're like, nothing was said. I was right.
I meant about the 4 and the 5.
And then part 9 is the final Friday. Jason Goes to Hell. There's 10. Then there's Freddy versus Jason. And then I think they remade Friday the 13th in 2009.
Yeah, I almost watched it. I can't remember if I did at the time. That popped up because that's free, of course, on like Netflix or something. I'm like, where is their loyalty to the original? You know, they got the remakes for free.
There's always sequels on Netflix, but never the original of anything. And that's so annoying. Shut up. You don't know anything.
All 3 should be 3Ds. Especially during that era.
They are not. Is it say it's in 3D? Okay, also I want to bring up.
Oh my gosh.
So the movie part 1, it was made in 1980. Okay, so if you watch it, it's on 1958 is when like all the slasher shit starts happening. You're like, right? Like mom loses her shit and kills all the counselors and that are having sex. Yeah. And then, but her son died the year before, so 1957. Yeah. Then it doesn't tell you what year it is when the movie takes place.
Yeah.
It says present day. I'm like, okay, it's not present day because nothing looks like that. When
it was present day in 1980.
1980. They do have a Friday the 13th part 3 in 1982 3D Blu-ray.
Where's my $5? Pay me $5. No, it's something I remember. Yes, I know Jaws 3 is 3D, but something I remember this particularly because it's like the knife, you know, I don't know. It's some ridiculous 3D that like doesn't hold.
It's always ridiculous. If you don't have the glasses, there's no point in doing it unless it's Jaws. Kevin Bacon, according to what I read, he said he only did the movie to pay rent.
Of course.
Which makes sense. I'm like, you die. And apparently that whole scene itself was very uncomfortable.
Because they're simulating sex or what?
Well, no, he's all okay. So I have to have sex with this girl, and I smoke a joint, and then I die and it's caught. Okay, so he's like, all right, cool, whatever. But they had only one fake neck to use. So he was like, I have one shot to do this. Okay, fine. He's laying there apparently in a very odd position. I guess half his body is like kind of under the cot or something. It was hard to understand. And so then there's like a person in front of him or whatever, and so he's got this fake upper torso and neck on here. And so he said that they only had one neck, so they had one shot to do it, and he was like, no pressure, great.
Yeah.
And so they puncture through it. Now the blood didn't work like it was supposed to. So there was like a special, like a tech person underneath him blowing the blood through a straw or something.
I love practical.
He's like, that's why the trajectory doesn't look right. The whatever.
Looked amazing.
You know what?
I definitely
these kind of stories.
Effects. When I was watching it last night, I was like, ah, when that happened, because it doesn't it go on her face or something? I don't know. It's a little
She's not there. No, she went to pee. There's that might be a number 2. The blood definitely goes onto the other person that they're being intimate with. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then 2 people get killed with 1 arrow going through. And my niece said, it looks like, you know, in a sandwich that you put a toothpick through. And I was like, what is wrong with you? Hanging out with your
me
niece
too much.
is a serial killer.
It's me. Yeah. I was like,
that one.
Maybe.
But
not going to show you these movies anymore.
But along with Randy's things, part 2, the death count is always higher. So there's and it's more gory and gruesome.
See how much you love Scream? Yes.
I made sure that I was taking notes on Randy's thing. And I was like, I even tried to look up specifically like his rules, Randy's rules of a horror film. There's only 3 and it doesn't go into much detail. So I was like, fine.
Yeah.
Never mind.
You'd have to hit up Jamie Kennedy for the rest. I don't know. Look at my hair.
Should we call him? Block. Should we reach out? Be like, can you come on so you can discuss?
I'll stalk him and
like, we would like you to come on and say Randy's rules of horror films. And we'll just play it every single time.
Hard pass.
Hard pass. You guys are fucking weird.
I'm like, whatever, Randy.
Whatever.
Like, my name is not Randy.
My goal is to try to get somebody to get on an interview with us that has done a movie.
Me. I'm the best you're gonna get. You're like, why? Why am I on here?
I quit.
That I'm excited to celebrate tonight on Friday the 13th. Because yes, like I said, only one this year. So
and how are you gonna celebrate?
I'm gonna have sex.
Are you taking notes right now? Like, what the fuck are you doing? She's like scribbled.
I'm gonna do drugs. I'm gonna drink. I'm just gonna test all the theories. I'm gonna do all the things wrong. And then if I die, then it was Jason. I am gonna make a pizza, maybe.
So I think that wraps it up for this week. Celebrate Friday the 13th in style, like Shealyn, with a pizza and try not to get murdered by a serial killer.
Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram.
Subscribe, hit the bell,
subscribe.
Get notifications. Unlike Shealyn, who doesn't watch our show, it's fine.
I've started. I like it. I watched it.
So next time, I have no idea what we're going to be talking about, but cool.
We'll think of something.
I'm sure. So there, we're done with that one.
Adios.
Until next time.
Bye. Yeah, I'm like a proud mom of myself. Anyway, so. Look, I'm erasing my boobs jiggling. I just like you actually looked. You're like,
duh. Of course I looked. You went, look at my boobs.
Yeah.
So I looked up. I was like, what?